So I wanted to make a second video about the assignments. I know whenever you take the course, you go in for the first day, the main thing that you care about is, okay, what are we doing this class? How am I being graded? How am I being assessed? And so I wanted to make sure that that was very clear, because I think that, again, expectations. You want to know what's being expected of you, and you want to bow out gracefully if this is not kind of what you want to do, and that's completely fine. So if you look at I think it's the third page of the syllabus, you will have formal writing assignments. So the first will be a letter of request. What a letter of request is, and you've probably done one already, reaching out to a teacher, a coach, a former employer, and asking them to write you a letter of recommendation. And this is something that I think you probably are either going to need in the next couple of months if you're applying for grad school, or you're applying for a summer job, or something that you've maybe already even asked. Like maybe you asked for one whenever you were applying to Pitt. So this is probably a format that you're familiar with. We start with this because it is one of the easiest formats. I start low with the points, and I do this on purpose because it is very difficult, I think, for most to get used to not writing in an academic way. Your entire student career, we've told you longer is better. Oh, that's not long enough. Use big words. Use verbose words. Say although. Use however. Use in other words. And now I'm telling you, don't do any of that. And that doesn't happen overnight. Changing from an academic to a professional style takes time and work. However, I've got to make sure to protect your grade. And the only way I can do that is by having the points be really, really low at the beginning so that you have time to get used to this new style and format of writing. And so that's why our first assignment is a letter of request. Very simple, very, I think, an easy kind of low stakes assignment. This is oftentimes what they'll call it. So we'll talk more about the letter of request in detail once we start talking about letters of request. But that's number one. That's the first assignment. And with that, there'll be some discussion from you about who this person is. That'll help me understand the tone. Like if you're very close to the person you're writing to, well, that's going to be a different tone of a letter versus a more formal relationship. That's assignment one. Assignment two is probably the one reason why you're taking this class, or the one reason why you see value in this class, and that is the cover letter and resume. I want you to leave this class with a very strong cover letter and resume. And one thing you need to know kind of about cover letters and resumes in this class in general is everything is tailored to the job posting. So that's one aspect of the assignment is, number one, you got to find a job posting that you want to apply for. It can be an old job posting. It could be a real job that you want to apply for. It could be a job that you already applied for. But you're going to provide me with the job posting, and then you are going to craft a resume and a cover letter specific for that job posting. If you've ever applied for a job, that's how it's done. It should be a mirror. If you think about it, and let's say that you're having problems with the roof of your house. You don't go out and find someone who knows how to fix sidewalks. No, you go out and find someone who knows how to fix roofs. Like, if you want to go get LASIK surgery, you don't go to a foot doctor. You go to someone who has done LASIK surgery before. And that's how all job postings, resumes, cover letters work, or how they should work, is your employer, future employer, wants the person who knows how to do the job. It's great that you won an award in something in high school. It's great that you're on the track team. It's great that, you have a 4.0 GPA. But really what they want to know is, do you know how to do this job that I need you to do? And do you know how to do it well? And do you have the skill set that overlaps with that? So whenever you're thinking about a cover letter and a resume, it should be a mirror. So here's the job posting, and you want your resume and cover letter to look like this, right? Very, very similar. And so that'll be assignment two. And I'll talk to you about how to do that. We're not going to be parrots. We're not going to say, the exact da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But there's a way to do it, and I'm going to show you how. And if you have one already, great. We will make it better. Assignment 3 is the memo. A lot of my engineers have told me that they were surprised that they had to create memos, or that memos were an expectation on the job. For some, I think the engineering school requires you to take this class, which is why I get a lot of engineering students. But the memo assignment, the reason why I keep it is because it works on your research muscle, but in a different way. In the past, we've always said, go out, research, write as much as you can. Okay, now write more. What I want you to do is I want you to research, but I want you to talk about it in a concise way. And I think that not everyone knows how to do that. They know how to research. They know how to find information. A lot of times they even know how to find high quality information. But when it comes to talking about that information, they either don't know how to paraphrase it in their own words. They have to quote all of it. Or they don't know how to talk about it in a concise manner. And so the memo is going to teach you how to write in a professional way, and how to research, and how to create that information concisely. So be thinking now, what aspect of your field do you wish you knew more about? Think about what topics are up and coming, or what areas of your field you're like, I should probably know more about that. Or I've been meaning to get around to doing a project on that so I can brush up on this. That's a potential topic for your memo. And then you're going to educate us about that. That's what the memo is going to be about. All right, so that's assignment 3. Assignment 4, this is where the collaborative component of the class comes in. We are working in teams, because that's how a lot of the working world works. We work in teams. We're not siloed. So you're going to be writing a proposal. The proposal is going to be a collaborative effort, and you're also going to eventually have a presentation. The presentation is also going to be collaborative in nature. So, the team proposal, I'm going to ask you to come up with a way to solve a problem. You can solve any problem that's on campus, that's in the world, that's in your major. Really, the sky's the limit. One of my past RMU students decided to come up with an app for 911. They said, we've got the phone, but nobody has a text 911 option. And I was like, I don't really know of that. And I was like, well, why does that even matter? Why is that important? He goes, well, if someone's in your house, you can't call, because what if you're hiding and then they hear you? And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. And then I start thinking, I'm putting on my addictions counselor hat, and I'm thinking about all the children whose parents are like passed out with this whole heroin epidemic problem that we have in PA. And I'm like, oh, kids know how to use a smartphone. They don't always know their numbers, but they know how to use the smartphones. And so wouldn't it be nice if that child could call for help on the phone? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're on to something. And so what I'm asking you guys to do is I'm going to put you in teams. I'm going to give you the option of putting yourself in teams, or I'll put you in teams, whatever you want to do. I'm thinking we'll have teams of like 3 to 5, 5 to 6. It depends on how big our class is. Right now, I think we have 18 people. And I'm going to ask you to find a policy, or come up with something. Create some idea. It could be an app. It could be like one of my past students at Pitt, since I used an RMU example, was she mentioned that Pitt doesn't have a 24-hour sexual abuse crisis line. We have campus police, but we don't have a 24-hour crisis line for that. Because if you think about it, sexual assault is a very difficult, very specific type of traumatic event, and it necessitates a certain type of response. And she was like, we don't have it. We don't have it here. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, we don't have that. And so that was her idea, was to create that. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create that idea, and you're going to come up with a plan for how are we going to have this as a team. And you're going to present the proposal. And then you're going to actually get together and do a video just like this, only it'll be standing up informal, of a presentation to see if someone will pick up your idea. All right. So that kind of covers the first part of the assignments. You're also going to have your class participation, which that is your discussion boards. A lot of your discussion boards are just going to be uploading your document and having other people give you feedback about it. And believe me, you will appreciate that, because they will find things that you don't see. There was a study that I was reading, I think it was a couple months ago, that said we just don't find our own errors. We just don't. Our brain, for whatever reason, because we wrote it, our brain assumes that it is right. And so we can't find the errors. And I've seen somewhere that putting it in a different font sometimes helps, but really the best thing is just to have somebody else look at it. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a couple different people evaluate our writing and provide us feedback to make it better and stronger. And then you're also going to be scoring each other within the team. And this is to prevent what we like to call in small group research social loafing, to make sure that one person doesn't do all the work. And so there will be 25 points that your peers will allocate to you in terms of how they think you did. If they feel like you carried your weight, if your writing was quality, if the work was substantial, if your public speaking abilities, during the presentation were significant. So that will kind of keep everybody in check and make sure that everyone's doing their work. Because I know that's often a concern for many students, and it was for me when I was in college, is great, a team project. That means I get to do everything again. I don't want that to happen. One thing that I did learn when I was out in the working world is that team projects, if they're done well and if they're done right, can actually be really amazing. I worked on a team. We were fighting basically the heroin epidemic in PA, and we were working with families that were struggling with addictions, and there's no way I could have done that by myself. And there were families that we actually did help that are no longer suffering, but there's no way I could have done it by myself. Like, I needed Jerry, and I needed Kathy, and I needed other people in my team to help me. We were a team of counselors that took it on. And so I do see the value of teamwork, but you've got to actually do the work. So I'll talk to you more about some of those specific examples and how to be effective as a team. Because I think a lot of times we're not given the tools. Like, how do you work together as a team? We're a very individualistic society. So I'm going to help you to be more effective as a team this term as well. And then finally, you'll have your final project. And this is the one that I think I'm most proud of, and the one that it's kind of what the class is all about. I want you to talk to your mentor, if you have one. If you don't have one, that's kind of going to be your assignment this semester. Your big assignment is find one. Find someone that can mentor you, that is doing the job that you want to do, or doing the career in the career path that you want to be on, and ask them, what should my career portfolio look like? And what a career portfolio is basically documents that an employer would want to see that you can create. For me, if I decide to go back into counseling, it would be a SOAP note for a client, or it would be a treatment plan. It would be my clearances. And so I have, it's over there, I have my career portfolio for being a counselor. I have my teaching portfolio for being an instructor, and it has lesson plans in it and has student evaluations. So ask someone in your field, what should my career portfolio look like? What kind of documents should I have? For my student athletic trainers, they need to have the fact that they know how to do CPR, their certification in there. For my engineers, maybe it's awards they won for things that they've created. I have a student that has just created something for people in the construction business to be safer when they're carrying tools on top of a building. Like, he's literally created his own brand new product, and that's in his career portfolio. So I encourage you, what can I bring into a job interview? That's what you're going to be creating. At bare minimum, it's going to have your interview, it's going to have your resume and your cover letter in there, but we need to build from there. But I need your help, because I don't know everything there is to know about your major. That's where me and you kind of start to work together. So, sorry, I apologize. I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but it does take a while to explain kind of everything that we're going to do in this class. So hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this lets you know kind of what to expect. Again, I think it's very important to manage expectations. Let me know if you have any questions, and we're going to continue to talk about this all semester.